Let us see string topic in Java. First of all, what is string? String is an inbuilt class. Inbuilt means a ready-made class provided by Java, used to store any type of value. Suppose if I want to store integer value, then before what we were doing when we were not having string, that time what we were doing, we were declaring variable as int. If I want to store decimal point value, I was using float data type to declare float variable and to store decimal value into it. If I want to store character, then I was declaring character variable with char data type and was storing character value into char variable. But what are the advantages of string? We can store any type of value into string. What we do, we create object of string class. It's an inbuilt class provided by Java. We store any type of value into string. We first create object of string class, then we store value into it. Then string class provided us lots of methods to perform operation on strings. Again, what we can store, how we can store? With double quotes. Okay, then with double quotes we store some set of characters or words or some name, contact number, such a type of data we store, and we can perform operations on that. We can add two strings, we can remove a particular string, we can check a particular character available at particular index, we can check at which index which character is available. Okay, we can replace a particular string with new string, such a type of operations, or we can retrieve some part of a whole string. Okay, that is called substring. We can check length of string value. So these are all methods provided by string inbuilt class, like replace method, length method is there, substring method is there. Okay, equals method is there to compare two strings, whether contents of or two string values are equal or not. To check that, in string inbuilt class we have equals method. Then two uppercase method is there, two lowercase method is there. To convert a string or characters letters into uppercase, we use two uppercase method. To convert it into lowercase, we use two lowercase method. So these are lots of methods are there in string inbuilt class, and we can make use of it, and we can perform operation on string. There is a concept called immutable concept in string. We will see it at end, because first we will get little bit familiar with strings, how to declare string class object, how to store a particular string value, how to do operation on that. We will see that first. Then we will see what is immutable concept, string immutable concept, and then we will see what is getters and setters. This is a project Christian Core Java. In this SRC, I create one package called string pack. Let's right click on this package, click new, take a class, you name to it string demo. Check this checkbox, finish. This program is to declare string values and perform declare strings, or we can say program to store and retrieve and perform operations on them. This is string class available in java.lang package. String s1 equals to new string. Very important topic and very helpful concept while doing programming, writing programs. This is an inbuilt class available in java.lang package. We create object of this class. This class is ready-made inbuilt. We create object of this class. As we know how we create object, then what we do, we store value into it. We can directly give here value. Let's say welcome, or we can take practice. Now I take one more string variable, or we can call it as object, s2 practice again. Now how to print it, how to store, we saw that we can store here numbers, characters, symbols. Okay, anything we can store. Anything enclosed within double quotes is called string value. We can store anything over here. This is a feature provided by string, that we can store anything. I store here practice, and here one more string object s2, store something in it. Then how to print it, like same how we print variables. String dot out dot println. S1 equals to plus S1 and plus S2 equals to S2. This is the way to print it. Let's run this. Very simple topic, string, but very important. S1 equals to practice and S2 equals to, here I give one slash n plus save run. S1 equals to practice, S2 equal to again. So this is how we store string values into string objects and print them. Now we will see how to check length of string. Length s1 dot length. This length method is available in this string class. That's why we are able to call it by creating object of it. Okay, s1 dot length. I want to check length of value available in this object, s1 object. That's why I say s1 dot length. If I want to see length of s2, then I will do s2 dot length. I will see the size or length of s2, whatever it is. So in this case, s1, what should be the length? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 will be the length. So it's definitely its return type should be integer. So I take one integer variable called len gth and print it length of s1 equals to length. This is a length method. Run it. Length of s1 equals to 8. Here is an output. Practice has 8 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, we will see some different methods. Let us see concat method. S1 dot concat. Check length. This is to merge contains of two strings. With the help of concat method, we can merge contents of two strings. Then this will become practice again. This S1 and S2's merged contents are practice again. This is how we make use of string methods. Then we see next method. Compare to method is there, substring method is there, replace method is there. We'll see equals method. S1 dot equals S2 to compare values of two strings, whether they are equal or first is greater than second or second is greater than first. To compare two strings, we use equals method. S1 dot equals S2. If these two are equal, then it will return true. If these two are not equal, then it will return false. So the return type of this equals method is Boolean. Okay. B-O-O-L-E-N. It's an one type of data type, Boolean. And we can take one variable like status. And if these two strings, S1 and S2, has same contents, values, then it will return true and will be stored into status. If S1 and S2 has different values, then it will return false and that will be stored into status. Either it will return true or false. Okay. Here we can do if status equal true अगर है प्रिंट करो S1 and S2 strings are equal, else both are not equal. Now S1 and S2 has different contents. So S1 and S2 strings are not equal. It should print like this. You can see here S1 and S2 strings are not equal. It's printing because these two strings are not equal. If I take here practice, then it will return equal S1 and S2. Here you can see S1 and S2 strings are simple. Are you getting these methods? Understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Is there any maximum limit on length of the string?
It's a huge. There will be some length. There will be some limitations. Depends on memory size. Okay, depends on memory size, but it has a we can store very long value into string. Okay,
Does it have any
near about more than 500, 1000 also we can store. Okay, very big value we can store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, whether it is case sensitive, suppose if I write practice in capital and second practice in small, will it be equal or not equal?
Yeah, it will be just a second. Just a second.
Yes, sir.
Should not be equal. No? ASCII values are different.
If I say practice and practice. Yeah, their ASCII values will be different. This will come false because this has different ASCII value. This has different ASCII value. Okay, so this will come false. It's a case sensitive. Yeah. Strings are not equal. S1 and S2 are not equal.
Okay, case sensitive.
Okay. Yeah. One more thing. If to avoid case, okay, to avoid case, we can use one method called equals ignore case. let me copy same method, but this method will ignore cases equals ignore case status 2 equal true equal not equal. Okay. Now we can see practice and practice are contents are same, but its letter is different. One is in capital, one is in small letter. Now it will say both strings are equal because it's ignoring case now. You can see here S1 and S2 strings are equal. Okay, then replace method is there. Okay, getting Shantanu?
Yes, right. Replace हो गया.
This is for equal method is ignore case. Contents ignore case. Replace some string with I want to replace PRA with PRE in S1 object. This is a S1 object, and in this S1 object, this is practice. I want to replace this PRA with PRE. Okay, or we can take any XYZ. Now let's print value of S1. S1 after a replace this is a string object in which practice is this value is available, and I want to replace that first three letters called PRA with new string called XYZ. This is an old string, this is a new string. Then print and check S1 whether it replaced or not. Let's run this. It was practice, but now this S1 after replace PRA, it's not replaced, right? Okay. We'll check what is it. it's not replacing. Just a second. Now we'll do that one. Try. Replace PRA with XYZ. So what happens basically? Replace method returns string after replacing PRA with XYZ. Whatever we give here and whatever we give new string, it replaces with new string and it returns a string value, and we need to store that into a particular string. That's why we taken one string object replaced string s1, and s1 after replace, here we are printing, so you can see it was practice, the word was practice, but it replaced with xyz, and the remaining characters it shows xyz and the remaining characters. So PRA replaced with xyz, or we can replace like this as well. Practice. This practice with consistency. And this s1 after replace consistency. So this is replace method.
Instead of taking another variable,
We can write into system.out.println also. We can write in system.out.println also.
No. Instead of string replace string is equal to
Mhm.
s1 is equal to s1 dot replace. Can we not do that?
S1 equals to S1 dot replace. Yeah, we can do that.
So then here
we are doing like that. Okay, S1 equals to S1 dot replace. It's replaces, because the thing is, if we don't want value available in it, okay, now it's okay to override that, then we can use a same variable, but the requirement is that we need a previous old value as well, and replaced as value as well. Okay, in that case we will take a different variable, but if a first variable is overriding, we don't want that value later on. Okay, in that case we can take a same variable. So it depends.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. So these are string methods. Suppose S1 has consistency, this word, and I want to convert it into uppercase. So type first object name dot, it will show you lots of methods. Okay, concat. Out of that, you can check in. You can check for whether string is empty or not. Is empty. Okay, it will return a boolean. You can see here. If it's empty, then it will return true or false. You can get last index of a particular character. Okay, last index of particular character, last index of a particular string in a, if string object contains a sentence and in that a particular word repeats 2 times 3 times, then you can check its last index. Okay, then length we saw, replace we saw. We can split string with comma or dot. This is important method, we will see this also. Split method. Suppose our string object contains paragraph. whole paragraph, and in that there are full stops after sentences. What we need all values separated by dot. Okay, means all sentences separately. Then that we can do using split method. It will return us array. We can store those all values into, it will be splitted. It means if that paragraph contains 10 sentences with full stop, and if we split with full stop, then it will return us 10 values differently, and that should be stored into a character array. Okay, into a string array. Okay, then we can iterate that array and we can print values. So that is a split method. Let us see split method. Okay, this is important method. Suppose in S1 practice we have some value perfect is x perfect, and in this some comma is there. Here is a comma. Here is comma to practice. Okay, this is some value stored into S1. Now what I want to do, I want all values separated with comma. This one value I want, then this one value I want, then this one, then this. This comma, there can be here full stop or comma or any exclamatory mark. Okay. Then here is a comma. It is called regex. Okay. Comma, exclamatory mark, full stop. These all are called regex. We must give regex to tell that with which regex I want to split. I want to split with comma. Take here one string array values. Iterate that here for each, using for each. Or do it using loop. I equals to 1, I is less than equals to values dot length I plus plus string dot out dot println values of. Let's print it and check. Our index out of all exception less than, we will take less than, and this we take with 0. Run this. Consistency perfect. Consistency makes man perfect, so do consistency. Perfect consistency makes man perfect. What it is? Perfect practice makes man perfect.
No, it replaced that perfect with consistency.
Yeah, we comment that replace. Good observation. I commented. Yeah, we used replace, that's why it was showing like that. Now it shows correctly. Perfect practice makes man perfect, so do practice. This you can see where there is a comma, it's splitted that. Okay. First of all, what we are doing, I want all those values with this by separated this symbol, okay, called regex. For that, I use split method and specify with which regex or symbol I want to split it. Split is a method there. I want to do it on S1 object, S1 dot split, specify regex or a symbol with which you want to get values separated with. Obviously, there will be a lots of values, multiple values. That's why we declared here string array. To declare array, only to specify rectangular bracket after variable name. That will become an array. Now, at values of 0, first value will go. At values of 1, always array index starts with 0. At values of 0, first value will go. At values of 1, second value will go. At values of 2, third value will go, and so on. Here how we are doing, at 0th index, first value is available, so we are starting it with 0. This is a condition up to when this printing should be happen. Okay, until and unless I is less than length of values. Now what length will come? Near about 4 values will come. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then length will be 4. We know length method. We applied it on values. Values has 4 values, so there here will be 4. Then this loop will continue 4 times, because 0 is less than 4, then 1 is less than 4, then 2 is less than 4, then 3 is less than 4. And as soon as it takes 0, it checks condition, it prints, it again goes to I++, then checks condition, if it's true, then prints it, then I++ checks condition, if it's true, then print, then I++, if value becomes false, then it comes out of this loop. Okay, and loop ends. So in this way we used a split. Any doubt in this?
Can we use multiple regex at the same time?
No, we cannot use, because that's an syntax of it. It asks that ask for a single regex. It's a ready-made method. That's why, and they return only one parameter in it. Also, you can check, is there any one more split method? Okay, because sometimes they do method overloading, right?
In that case, we can use multiple times this split method.
We can give limit that up to which we want to split, okay, but we cannot give more than one regex.
Okay.
What we observed is in other programming languages,
Mhm.
if I have to write this for loop,
Mhm.
then string values square bracket is equal to s1 dot split
Mhm.
should come after for. This is how. So this has to be come within for loop, and it is outside for loop. Or yeah, for is only for printing, it seems. Okay. Yeah.
For we to reach to each element,
Yes.
we are using for loop. Okay, it's called traversing also, reaching each element at this
Not
values.
assigning. For is this for is not for assigning the values. Okay. It's
Yeah,
for printing. Okay.
yeah, it's just to
Yeah.
traverse or to reach to each element,
Hmm.
because we have values of 1 PL, values of 0, values of 1,
Yes.
values.
Understood. No.
Yeah. Okay, so this is about string. You try these methods first, then you can, if you want, you can try some more methods, simple methods. Let us see what is string immutability. Okay. String objects are immutable, means unchangeable. Okay, mutable means changeable. Mutable is a word for changeable, and immutable means unchangeable. string objects are unchangeable. How we see that? We can declare string in this way also. String s3 equals to this. What is the difference between this and this one? Okay, we will see. These are two ways to declare string. This way stores into heap type of area, and this stores into string pool memory area. We will compare S2 and S3. Okay, if S2 equal S3, then print system.out.println strings are stored at same location. Else we will see those strings are not stored at same location. This equal operator is used to compare addresses of two string objects, and dot equals method is used to compare contents of two string objects. This is a difference, and we are checking whether these two string objects are addresses of these two string objects. Basically, intention is to understand how string objects are immutable. Here we will see what happens, whether
Can you repeat the difference once again?
between, okay,
Equal and
to,
equal.
yeah, equal is to compare addresses of these two string objects. For example, this is a string object. Okay, what happens? It's like a variable. We give some name to memory area. Okay, there will be some memory area allocated to this S2, and it will have some address, let's say 1000. And when we declare another string variable or object, that time it will select another memory area and will give this S3 name to that memory area, which can have some different address, let's say 2000. Okay. So we are trying to compare here addresses of these two string objects. When we want to compare addresses, that time we use equal equal, and to compare contents of two string objects, then we go for
equal
equals.
method.
Yeah, clear?
Okay. Then, but how is it possible that both the strings will be stored in the same location?
Yeah, that's not a point. Sorry, that's not a point. The point is this equal equal helps us to check addresses of both string objects. Okay.
Okay.
First, we'll see step by step. First,
Okay, like that.
yeah. So whatever it is, first we understand it. We will understand in next part. Okay. Here we are comparing it. Now we see what happens. Run this. Both strings are stored at same location. Here what is happening? It's not creating a separate object. What it do, when we store a same value into another string object, that time what it do, just a second, I draw something to explain that. Okay, here you can see this is S1, this is S2, and this is S3. Now S2 is pointing S2 is pointing to this object, and S3 is pointing to this. Better to take this later. Now what happens? String S2 perfect in memory area. S2 perfect is stored into it. Now when we store the same value and we create a different object, that time what it do? It checks whether this perfect is available everywhere in memory. Yeah, it's available here. Then what it do? Instead of creating a new object, it will adjust its pointer to same object. Okay. Yeah, what it will do, instead of creating separate object to S3, it will point to same object which has perfect. It happens. Okay, this is the first point. Okay, if I take here a different word called simple. Now if I run, you can see both strings are not stored at same location. Before it was coming, both strings were stored at same location. Okay, it means this pointer was adjusting to same object. But when I stored a different value, that time it will check whether this simple is available in memory area anywhere. Okay, then it will not find. Then what it do? It say create a separate object for this simple in this case. This will be a separate object, and this pointer will point to this. This S2 will point, S3 will point to this. So both will be different objects. This is one point. Remember this one point. Now see next part. Now what I do, I keep this as perfect, and I do S2 plus S3. string s2 here s2 has practice. Okay, and run this. Now I comment this one. S2 has and comment as well. Okay, let it be. S2 equal to perfect. S3 equal to perfect. S2 dot S2 plus practice save into S2. Here see S2 has Java and S3 has Java. What happened? First, we check its addresses. Okay, first it will, yeah, first we will take heap memory area. Let's try with stringpool. Here what is happening? S2 and S3. S2 has Java and S3 has also Java. Here we are checking S2 and S3 equal or not. Okay. Then it says both strings are stored at same address. We are checking whether the address of S2 and S3 are same or not. So S2 and S3's addresses are same. Okay. After that, what we are doing? We are adding some string into S2 object. Okay. After this also, S2 and S3, it say that both are stored at same address because we are changing values, not addresses, right? We compared S2 and S3 before concatenation, and after concatenation also we will check. Before, what is there in S2 and S3? Java value stored in both objects, and both objects are stored at same address. Okay, in the same object, the address is same for this both objects. Okay, before concatenating something. Here we can see both string addresses are same. After adding, I am adding some value to S2. So it's not necessary to change its address because we are not doing anything with address, right? For S2. We are just adding some value into S2. Then also it should say S2 and S3 addresses are equal. Okay, but it does not say. Why? Because what happens? I draw here and show you. Okay. When I create S2, this is S2. Then when I say string S3, it will point to same object and Java is stored into it. Now, both are same. Later on what happens? When what I am doing, I am adding J2EE into S2. In this S2, I am adding J2EE value. Okay. Then it's not necessary to change addresses of these two, right? Because we are just adding some value into this S2 object. Okay, I added J2EE into S2. Then what happens? That J2EE will not add into this same object. It will not happen. Here Java is stored. Okay, Java value is there. When I add J2EE, that time it don't modify this same object. It will not happen Java J2EE in the same object. It will create a separate object like this. It will create a separate object, and in this it will store Java J2EE in this object. Okay, and then S2 will point to this. This pointer will now vanish. Okay, this pointer will be vanished, and this S2 will point to this object now. Okay, S2 was previously pointing to this object. Now when we add something to S2, it does not modify value of this object, same object. Okay, that's why it's called objects are immutable, unchangeable. Okay, it creates a separate object and store Java J2EE into this another object. Okay, then what happens with this object? It will be deleted by a garbage collection program. Okay, because it does not have any reference. No one is referencing to this object. So for unreferenced objects, garbage collection will remove that. So that's why we call string objects are immutable. Understood?
Sir, S3 value also will be modified by this adding to S2, J2EE.
Sorry, what it is?
S3 string 3 value also be modified by the statement of S2 equal to S2 J2EE.
Mhm. If we do with S3, then also same thing will happen. Okay, if we add something into S3, okay, then what will happen? It will not modify the same object. It will create a separate object, and the S3 pointer will go to another object, and there Java J2EE or whatever new thing you are adding to Java, that will go into new object, and it will not refer to point to old object. Okay, it means it is not allowing us to modify old object. It's not adding new value to old object. It's creating a separate value. That's why we are calling it string objects are immutable, unchangeable.
Now means in this program now S2 will have a value of Java J2EE and
Mhm.
S3 will have a value of Java.
Correct.
It is okay. That is
Correct. Yeah,
correct,
yeah,
na?
yeah.
Okay.
Correct, correct. Because if it's modifying to same object, then S2's reference should be same, right? Then S2 and S3 will be same. Then it should say both strings addresses are same, right? But it's not saying after adding J to W, it's not
It is
saying
not
that
done.
both are equal addresses. It means what? The address of S2 is changed. Means another object is created. That's why address is changed.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. So we see one more program relating to collection. Let us see some part of collections. Okay, now we see collection. What is collection? Collection is an interface which provides us lots of more interfaces and inbuilt classes, which has ready-made methods to store elements and to retrieve elements to perform operation on elements. Okay. Collection is an interface which contains inbuilt classes and interfaces, which provides us ready-made methods to perform operations like store, get, okay, delete, like that. There are various types of interfaces in collection interface, like list interface, set interface. Then collection is a main interface, and list, set, these are sub interfaces implement to collection interface. Then list interface has some inbuilt classes like array list, vector, okay, linked list. Out of that, we will see array list one. Okay. This is collection interface. This is an interface. In this, there is list interface, set interface. In list interface, there are again classes. This is an interface, and this set is also interface. This set implements collection interface. And this list interface implements collection interface. Then in this list interface, array list class is there. This is class which implements interface. Then vector class is there. Vector list interface. Then linked list class is there. Linked list. It also implements list interface. So why these classes are different available in this list interface? Because some classes will allow us to insert duplicate elements. Some classes will not allow us to insert duplicate elements. Okay. Then some classes will be ordered, which will have ordered elements, and some classes will not have ordered elements. Some classes will have ordered elements. Some classes will not have unordered elements. Suppose I want I'm inserting some elements and I want to retrieve in the same way how I inserted, okay, in the sequence I inserted. So this is called ordered. So for some classes, you will see it's an order. If I want to maintain order, insertion order, I want to retrieve in the same order, then I should go for this class. If order is not important for me, but it should not allow duplicate values to insert. Okay, then I will select the class as per that. So each class will have different methods, different specialities. So as per that, we select class which one to use, and then do operations like we create an object of class, then we add element, we delete element, we perform various types of operations in element. We will see one example of array list. This is a program store and retrieve elements of very simple collection also. There are different classes. Okay. Array list. Let us see some points regarding array list. Okay, array list is an inbuilt class, resizable or growable. When we create object of array list class, let's say AL, or we can say EID, employee ID member, employee ID array list. I want to store employee IDs. This class is available in java.util package. What you need to do is mouse over on this. It will show you option import array list class, because we do not have this class in our project. This is an inbuilt class available in java.util package written by Java. So we should import that package into our class to make available this array list class to our program, so that we can create its object and we can call its methods. Import that array list class. As soon as we click on it, that it will be imported. How to import it? Write import method and java.util package in that array list class I want to import. When we click on that, import array list, automatically it will add line for us. Now this class is available to our program. We can now call methods of array list. We will add some employee IDs, EID. Okay. EID dot add 20, add some more 21, 22, 23, print it PID equals to plus PID. Better to say PIDs. PIDs. The way we print a variable, in the same way we print array list object to print elements available in this. What I did, I created one array list object. In that I stored 4 elements. I can store any number of elements. We stored 4 elements, and to print that elements, all elements available in this EIDs, print like a normal variable how we print system.out.println and name of object. Just a second. Now run this. 20, 21, 22, 23. Whatever elements available in this, that will be printed. Here you can see a point is array list is a inbuilt class, resizable or growable. Resizable or growable means there will be some fixed size. Suppose 10, 12 elements we can insert. As soon as we insert 10th or 11th element, it will automatically grow its size. It will grow its size by double. It will do 20. Okay, when we again insert elements 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and when we insert 19 or 18 element, it will again double its size. It means automatically internally it grows its size as per we insert elements. That is a good thing which is not available in array, but in array list we have that feature. Allows duplicates. We can store duplicate values. 22, 22. I am storing duplicate value. Now it does not show any error. It allows us to store duplicates. When we want to store duplicate values into list, then we go for array list. Insertion order maintained. The way I inserted elements in the same order, I will retrieve that. That's why it's called insertion order maintained. Array list class is not synchronized, means its methods are not synchronized. Means at a time multiple threads or processes can access methods of array list class. Okay, to understand what this synchronization is, uh, we need to learn thread topic for that. Okay, in thread, how multiple threads or processes access same method, or if we want to restrict it, then we make it a synchronized. Okay, then it means what, array list class methods are not synchronized means array list class method, let's say there is a method called add, then that add method can be called by multiple threads or objects or processes at the same time. There is no restriction. Okay, this is called array list class is not synchronized. Allows random access because it works at index basis. I can randomly access element. For example, PIDs dot get index. I want element available at second index. Okay. Then what I will do, I will say EIDs dot get, and here is an element index number. In this parameter provide index at which you want to retrieve element, int element Here you can see 22 is displayed. Here it is dot get of 2. At second index, I want value. This is 0th index, this is 1, this is 2, 22 retrieved. Randomly, we can access element by using get method, provide index number. Are you getting this concept?
So why were we not able to get that 22 in the integer? Earlier you tried
Yeah,
to get.
yeah, because it was returning in object form. If we can do that, but then we must convert it into integer type. Okay, like this, because this returns in object form.
Gotcha.
Okay, then what we need to do is print it like this: object o equals to this, then convert this o dot, convert this into toString. We can convert into toString also, and now print this. Let's take one variable string element. Now you can print, but because this returns in object form, okay, it return a value in object form, and if we print that, then that will be not understood. Okay, so store that into object of object class. This is an inbuilt object class, and then there is a toString method. In a string class we learned toString method to convert a particular value which is available in other formats like integer or whatever it is. To convert into string, we use toString method, and it will return us whatever available in this O in the string form. In the form string form, it will return, and we store that into string variable and we print it. Okay,
Okay.
now this allows insertion. We can allow null to some index like this. Okay, I'm not inserting anything here, and run this. Here is nothing, you can see. So it's a null insertion. It allows null insertion. Then contains heterogeneous objects. We can store 20, or we can store like this. Okay, it means different types of data we can store into it. Heterogeneous means different types. So different types of values we can store into this array list object, or we can store some float here, 21.5. No need to take various types of different variables of different data types. Simply take array list, we can store any type of value in it. So it's called contains heterogeneous object. Allows null insertion best choice if the frequent operation is retrieval. When we are retrieving again and again, then this is a best choice array list. When we insert something at middle or some particular index, that time it's a worst choice. Okay, this is all about array list. We stop here. Tomorrow we will see some more classes in collection interface, like some classes in set interface. Also we will see some hash map. Okay, what is map, hash map, how values are stored into key value forms. We'll see something regarding this tomorrow. Then we'll see some conditional statements, if else, in tomorrow's session. So any doubts at the end? Any doubts? Clear everything?
This string element is equal to o dot to string is there na, to convert it to string.
Yeah.
So are there for to convert it to integer, float, double like that?
Yeah.
Two integer, two double, two float. Is there? So option is there?
Such a method is not available. To integer is not available. We can do integer dot parseInt. Suppose we want to convert string value into integer. Okay. Then we can do integer dot parseInt. There is a different way.
Percentage.
For example, this is a string student ID 11. Okay, we will see this tomorrow. Okay, one more point remained called getter setters. We will see this how to convert. We can convert string value into integer. Okay, there is a concept called integer dot parseInt. With that we can convert, and when we want to convert into a particular data type value into string, then we can use two string methods.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And one more thing remained called getter setters. We see that, and then we will stop. What are getter setters? Okay. There is one class called customer C1 plus to new customer. This there are two variables called, this is a class customer, and in this two variables called customer ID, CUID, and customer name. What I want to do is I will write one method here. When we're passing whole object to somewhere else, and that time what we do, we set some values to that object and pass that object to somewhere, and wherever we pass that object we get elements available in it. First of all, what happens, what I want to do is I want to pass one object to this place and to print whatever available in that object. It means first what I will do, to store, to send 5 values, instead of sending one by one, what I do, I set those values, set of values 5, 10, any number of values, I set those values to a particular object, and then I pass that object to somewhere else, to some other method, and there I will get all the elements available in that object. Okay, for to achieve such a type of scenario, we use getter setters. For example, I have a customer class and I want to call customer C1 dot display method. we will do one thing. We'll take a separate class for this, okay? So that it will be easy for you to understand. It will not, you will not get confused, okay? We'll take one different class for this. Getter setter demo. This is the method. This is the program to set values in object, pass it to place, and get those values, print it. Program is to set values to object, pass it to other place, some to other class or to other method, okay, from one place to another. Then get those values and then print those. How we use getters and setters for this? We see using getters and setters. We can say getters, setters. Demo G equals I create one object and I write one display method here. It will not return anything, and let's call this method g.display. I want to pass one object from this method call to this area, and in this, but before passing, I will set some values to that object. Then we'll pass from this method to this method, and I will get here. I will set first some values, then I will set some values to object using setter method. I will pass that object from this method call that will come here. Then from that object, I will get values and will display. This I want to do. First of all, we have a customer class, and in this CUID customer name is there. Here create object of customer class C equals to customer. Here what you need to do is right click here and go to source and click on generate getters and setters, this method option. It will automatically generate getters and setters. If you want only getters, you can select getters here and click generate. To take only setter methods, select this option, select setters and click generate. To get all getters and setters for these two data members, click here, select all. It will generate getters as well as setters for these data members. Click on generate. It generated getters and setters. Gets UID, returns UID, sets UID, returns UID. For UID, gets UID, for to set, sets UID. For to get customer name, get customer name. For to set customer name, set customer name. These are called getter setters. Now what we can do, we can go here. We know these getter setter methods are available in this customer class. Then what we can do, we can create object of this class, and as we know, we can create object of class and we can call method, let's say set UID. First of all, set some UID, customer ID 23, then store it in string form. Set customer name 23, customer ID has name called John. again set something c dot set CUID 24 c dot get set customer name. Now pass this object C object from here, and here to take that object we must declare here customer object to hold that, to take that object from here. It will come into this C, and now we can access values by using getters. Setters we used to set values. We send this object here, and then we'll get with that object we get here, and out of that we'll retrieve values using getters method. So basically we use it in advanced Java to create web applications like Facebook, Gmail. There in MVC architecture, model view controller architecture, we use mostly getters and setters because there is again and again requirement to take complete value. For example, sometimes the user fill registration form and all value should be stored in one object, and we pass that one object ahead or forward, and that object will be stored into database. Okay, to pass values easily, for that we set into a particular object and we pass that object instead of sending all the values. Okay, this is a concept used in advanced Java in the MVC architecture, model view controller, to develop Spring-based applications, Spring Boot applications like Gmail, Facebook, okay, such a type of web applications. So here I want to send some values. That's why I created an object of customer class which has two data members, UIDs and customer name. Set first UID and customer name using setter method. Second customer ID and name, customer name using this setter method. Then I have in C object these two customers 23 and 24 having names John and Mark. Then I send this object, and to hold that object here also need to create object of customer class. Then here we can call we can fetch values CUID equals to plus C dot get CUID. Or now take one only system.out.println customer name equals to plus C dot get customer name. Save this and run. CUID is 23, customer name John. Suppose there are some more fields like address, caste, address, okay, what is your qualification, okay, married status. So for lots of data members, we can create getters and setters for each data member, and we can set to that object. We can set that object to somewhere else in this display or at any other place, to outside place as well, then to outside class as well. Then here we will get that object. In this object all values are available that can be accessed using getters, get UID, get customer name. Understood this, what getters and setters is? Any doubt in this?
So what if we set two values like initially we have done and then removed set cut ID 24 and then set customer name mark. So all four will be displayed.
We do that. Show it's overridden. It's overriding. Just a second. Okay, it's overriding previous values. Means what? We do it for to send unique set of values with object. Suppose here is a string address. Then we'll generate getter and setter for address again. We can add any number of data members. Okay. Then here go to source and generate getters and setters. Now select all, means I want to generate getter as well as setters. Generate getter setters are generated here. Save it. Here you can set address now because we set a unique set of values. Okay. Otherwise it will override. Okay. When we again set that, you saw it will be overridden. When we send like this 24 and mark again, then 23 will be overridden with 24 and customer name John will be overridden with mark. So we'll display only 24 and mark. We saw this. Here you can see we saw this CID 24 mark, which means these values are overridden. So we don't do like this, and we store some values to object, unique set of values to object. Here let's set address called Pune, and here get that using this system.out.println customer address c dot get address. Okay, now you can see it will set address and will pass object and will print, will get, will print address. Getting?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now we'll stop here and you do practice. And if you have any doubt, list down all the doubts. And in tomorrow's session, we will clear those doubts first and then we will go ahead. Okay, so we today stop here. And thank you very much for today's session.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Continue tomorrow.
Yeah, we will continue tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Good night. Thank you.
Good night, sir. Good night. Thank you.
Good night, sir. Thank you.